another round, another recap. So how was our first half against Heidelberg United? Well, we were certainly battling from the offset, given the absence of injuries. We'd like to Pickett and Papasanis both out. Of course, Pickett perhaps in the worst position overall. She will be back most likely around June. This because of undergoing concussion from the Alamein controversy towards the end of that match. And of course, complications from things like whiplash, which she did sustain given the high intensity of the contact. Beyond that, we saw three really unanswered goals, not just in terms of getting one back, just really being able to make an effort. We had no response for them, even if the third came via a penalty. We just didn't seem to have any answers for what they were throwing at us. The closest thing we really had to an answer was Grace Taranto, who was getting in there and certainly having a bit of a slog against Clemente's Heidelberg side. Cat Goff coming on in about the 34th minutes as certainly a well needed substitute and one that was probably a bit late given considering she probably should have started given how our starting 11 was and just how empty we're looking up the front. Nonetheless, we did get to see her eventually. Nice in the second half. Better overall. It was better. Still frustrating at times, but it is what it is. Lawson certainly was looking very strong up front, making a number of runs, certainly pushing in a hell of a lot of effort and just trying to get something out of that derby. That Goff as well, she was doing quite a lot. Indeed, even managed to mug their keeper quite badly. It's unfortunate we were able to get a goal out of that, but that was our best opportunity and it was fantastical footballing, piss-taking. Piss-taking at its finest. And for that, we do commend you, Kat. Fantastic. Otherwise, we had Francesca Romano very much controlling the midfield, getting them into a very sustainable rhythm and trying to get something out of this very, very difficult match, which one we very rarely, if ever, had much of an answer to what Clemento's side was throwing at us. Certainly very unlucky not to concede a fourth, given how strong Heidelberg were in the last 10-15 of that match. In the end, they would go on to be 3-0 victors in a very depressing derby result. Otherwise, let's look around the league to see how everyone else fared in the fifth round. First of all, Box Hill hosted FV Emerging. Box Hill going on to be a long-awaited victors in the game. 5-2 being the final score. A victory that was certainly long coming for this battling Box Hill side. FV certainly still in the wars and increasingly similar positions to ourselves, where, like young Winterburn, can't quite find the answers for her side. Otherwise, Bayside, they got battered and they got battered hard, being dealt with 6 goals by Calder United. And of course, that is us all off the round. Bulleen hosted Alamein, going on to be 2-1 victors up at the Veneto Club. So how does this shape the table currently? Well, in first we have Bulleen on 13 points, close behind Heidelberg on 12. In third we have 8 points for Calder United, who are very closely followed as well by Alamein United, Alamein FC on 7 points. In fifth we have Box Hill on 6 points, certainly a bit of a dark horse coming to finals. In sixth place, on 3 points, we have FV Emerging. In seventh, we have Bayside United on 2 points. Of course, ourselves still plumb with a -7 goal difference, in contrast to Emerging's -6 and Bayside's minus 17. Of course, given that we haven't played our fourth round fixture, which is supposed to be against FV Emerging, both ourselves and Emerging do have a game in hand, something that can be of equal advantage and disadvantage. It just depends what happens once we do have that fixture played out. And speaking of fixtures, let's have a look towards the round 6 matches for this weekend. First of all, Alamein will be hosting Bayside United out of Dorothy Laver. Hull United will be hosting ourselves at Keilor Park. Heidelberg will be hosting Box Hill with Olympic Village. All of these games are from 3 p.m. on Saturday. Our fourth match of the 6th round will be Emerging versus Bulleen up at Knox. This will be also from 3 p.m. However, the Emerging versus Bulleen game will be played this Sunday. Otherwise, another thing really to look out for is, of course, our upcoming Nike FC Cup match, where we've been drawn against Caroline Springs George Cross at home. Well, it certainly will be a good game for us and a very good opportunity to press a bit further into the Nike FC Cup, details of which will be confirmed as soon as possible. Otherwise, that pretty much rounds things up for this week. So, certainly hope we can see as many of you as possible out at Keilor, which will be a tough match. That's certainly a match where not only we must get something out of, something we certainly can get something out of, if you certainly have the fight, have the passion, and certainly make the most of our opportunities. Until next time, we have been your LAS Fan TV. Come on, Hellas.